Hello there guys, what is going on? Welcome to Pure Trading, 27th of February. This is the market outlook for week number 9. Starting off on the euro dollar. But firstly, we have to look at what we can expect for next week where volatility is concerned. Look, with the Ukrainian-Russian thing, there's definitely going to be volatility. Into which direction it's going to be, I don't know. But just because it's there, just because it's an issue, it should be risk off. So again, dollar strength, yen strength, Swiss franc strength, and also where gold is concerned, we want to buy. And the commodity prices might be going up as well. But don't think that the CAD is going to go up just because oil is shooting up. The CAD is a different animal. Also, we have the non-farm payrolls for next week. That's Friday. The first Friday of every month is non-farm payroll, so that's added volatility. A whole lot of talking, a whole lot of speeches there, bank rates for Canada. So there is going to be a lot of volatility there. So, at the end of the videos, it's always trade safely and prosper. I'm going to have to tell you this in the beginning here now. Guys, trade safely and prosper. Let's look at what's going on the euro. Look, with the strategies and stuff, there's a million of them out there. What I think is that you need to keep it simple. Try to have as little indicators as possible on your charts, just something that's going to help you, something that's going to guide you, something is if you're looking at lines like this, make that line your profit target, or where you want to take your entries somewhere close to the lines, or just look at support and resistance and just be patient enough to wait for prices to get there. So we have this bullish bar coming up here on Friday. People are buying the euro. To me, I'm looking at this as just a retracement against the dollar here. For me, it's still dollar strength based on a lot of things. If we go to the first fundamental issue here, or the first sentiment issue, is going to be consumer spending. This is inflation. This pushes the price of the dollar up. And also we have the Ukrainian issue. So dollar strength for me, it's going to be very difficult for me to look at a technical setup here and try and buy the euro against the dollar. So I'm looking at this green bar as a retracement against the long-term trend, which is down. So also you can look at this technically. The guys just looking at technicals would be able to easily see that we are in a downward moving trend here. So the short-term trend is basically from that point going down. So if prices goes higher up, reaches the trend line, I'm looking for sort of setups to go short. But based on the strategy on its own, the area that I'll be looking at is a few areas. It's going to be this area here. Yeah, just because there was some retracement in that at that level before, and then the more major level is going to be the one on top here. And if we have excursions beyond the mean in that area, I'll be looking for going short, and on top here as well. So for me, it's retracements up to the extension beyond the mean and the minor level or the major level, and trading this one short. Then what we have is the cable, exactly the same thing here. Also, let me go back to the euro quickly. If we take a Fibonacci from the top all the way down here, also we can see the 61.8 is a Fibonacci number as well. So that's just added confluence in that area to try and get short. Now for the cable, the bar going up here wasn't as fierce as the one with the euro, so the pound is struggling a bit more against the dollar. So in this case also we have this very strong bearish bar here. So this is clearly also another just an opportunity to sell. So what a lot of people would look at here is going to be this area there. And if we get an extension beyond the mean there, I would sell. We have our Fibonacci again. The thing is, every time you need to pull out the Fibonacci to try and get yourself a level to trade, that automatically for me diminishes the value of that setup. For me, if you could just simply use the levels, like that's your minor level there, and then a major level on top there. So if prices manages to get up into this level and then for a sell, then that would be much better. So as soon as you need Fibonacci to help with confluence, to me it just diminishes the value of the trade. But for me it is short on the pound against the dollar as well. Where fundamentals is concerned, it's not really a clear-cut decision here. So I'm going solely based on the safe haven status of the dollar in this case. Then what we have is the dollar versus the yen. So both of them are considered safe havens, and the yen considered the stronger of the two on safe haven status. So that's your major level. Plus, technically, prices it's going to be easier for prices just to reach up there. So for a setup for this week, we could look at just trying to get about 60-70 pips higher, and then to try and get into the trade going short on this one. Then we have the CAD. Remember, with the CAD, we have oil prices and stuff that could also be shooting up because of the political issues, unrest, war. Prices could be, pushing inflation higher. But I still think, like in this case here, that we could use this just as a buying opportunity, this heavy sell bar here that happened on Friday. Also, if you look at the what's happened here, I mean the Dow and most of the indices has gained more than it's gained in a long time. Yeah, it's the Dow rallies more than 700 points and heads for its best day of 2022 so far, and that is even in this sort of situations. So for me, it's it is uncertain. It's not easy. So to trade in this conditions where people don't know what's going to happen in the next second with regards to this issue. So I would definitely suggest to trade lighter with a little bit of less risk here, and even if you're scalping, try and have this fundamental sentiment view on your on your side, just in case things goes haywire the wrong way. Where are we? We are with the CAD. This one is a nice technical as well. So far the two best opportunities for me is trying to buy the dollar when prices comes back down here. This is a major level, and so is the one at the bottom here. So I know it's going to be a bit difficult for you to buy against the CAD here, thinking that the oil prices are going to support the CAD as well. So this is just a view I have, that it's not going to be strong enough against the dollar, not in these conditions that we are faced at the moment. So for me, it's a buy at these levels. Obviously, when you get a setup, and for me, my preferred setup for the beginner strategy is going to be the RSI setup. And if you want to learn about the RSI setup, just do the beginners course here. It's entirely free. You learn how to find these levels, and also you learn how to correctly enter the trade with together with the RSI setup. And then with the commodity trading currencies here, again we have the Australian dollar versus the dollar. I am happy to see this green bar going against the dollar here, because we are at a nice major level of importance there. So looking at a setup to try and get short in that area is where I would have my ideas placed. Then the next level is a little bit higher up there. And then the thing is, every single time if prices breaks through my levels there, I would look for these opportunities at each one of these minor levels. Anything to try and get short against the Australian dollar, and as well as here we are with the New Zealand dollar, exactly the same thing here. So prices are pushing up, and we can try and identify a level of importance there. See, as simple as possible, if you can try and make it as simple as possible so that you can have less of a frustration when it comes to, is this a setup, is it not a setup, is this a level, is it not a level. Just make it as simple as possible, and the way to do that is to look at the extremes here. This is an extreme high, this is an extreme low, so it's very easy to draw all these levels in. And if you see your setup in this area and you are hesitating to take action, then you are doing something wrong in my view. So if you can act in these areas, draw your levels on the daily as prices comes into these levels, if you can act without hesitation, then you are on the right track. For me, always trying to buy gold here, so I'm looking at this as a pullback and then trying to get in back long on the gold, even though this massive spike is in the way. Guys, any value here, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe so that you don't miss any of the other videos. And again, don't forget the most important thing, especially during times like this: let us all trade safely and prosper.